Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Hawaii for Two by Christina Braver. And this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Kate. Damn, it was cold. Too cold for June. Souls tired of clouds and rain shuffled inside the crowded coffee shop wearing sandals and bright spring colors under sweaters and fleece-lined hoodies, me included. Another January in the Pacific Northwest. A week in Hawaii sounded necessary, even if it was with my family. Pushing through the door, I brushed past Kimberly with two E's, Vandenberg, on her way out with her usual posse, the skinny nurses of Harborland Hospital. If there was a calendar, these women would feature. She smiled her cool acknowledgement, not quite pity, not quite condescension, like a queen gracing a loyal peasant. It didn't matter that it had been months since my ex dumped me at the first flutter of her sooty lashes, or that she dumped him not long after. What mattered was he dumped me for her, and she dumped him. By the transitive principle of mathematics as well as the brilliance of reality TV logic, she dumped me. I refused to let getting dumped by either of them make me feel small. The usual? Asked the barista, a big grin on his familiar face. Thanks, Pete. Wait, shouldn't you be in school? Senior Dutch Friday, he said in a high voice before clearing his throat and continuing in a deeper register. It's a good day to pick up extra hours. I'm 18 now, a man. It's time to get serious. He straightened to his full height, and I had to tilt my head to meet his gaze. A cough rumbled behind me. Well, don't work too hard. Do something fun, I said, readying my card to pay. Take a risk before the stakes get too high. Stepped aside to keep the line flowing, and in no time, Pete strode over to the pickup area with my vanilla cold foam latte. In the interest of that risk thing, he cleared his throat again. Let's go out. I blinked. Sure, I'd misheard. You're pretty. I like you. Let's go out. We could get dinner, take a walk, whatever you want. There's no law against it anymore. He grinned. A man's low chuckle behind me caught my attention. Oh, no. Nope. No one was mocking this boy, or man. Pete, don't say flattered. He leaned closer and lowered his voice. You're what? 25. 28, I said with a squint and a smile. Pete barely faltered at our 10-year age gap. No problem, it's dinner, nothing serious. I held his gaze and whispered, Is this a booty call? Pete's eyes rounded before he ran a hand through his shaggy brown hair, and the deep voice said, It's whatever you want it to be. Oh, Pete. This guy had a future in breaking hearts. He was lanky, but his sturdy shoulders said he wouldn't be forever. With bright hazel eyes, patches of dark stubble on a sharp jawline, and that confidence, women of all ages would soon line up to have dinner with him. Pete, you have me thinking, and you're the first man to do that in a while. A hesitant but satisfied smile lit his face. I can't. Thank you for the invitation. Honestly, it was perfect, but the age difference is a problem for me. He nodded silently and glanced down before meeting my eyes again. There was no embarrassment or feigned casualness, just sincerity and sweetness. The offer is out there if you change your mind. With a half smile, Pete confidently returned to the register, having handled that about as well as a person could. Wow. So good ones were still out there. Fingers crossed for one closer to my age. The girl who'd been working next to Pete snapped her gaze back to the customer line, trying to hide the fact she'd been watching our exchange, and I recognized the barely disguised look of longing from my own awkward teens. She wanted to be the girl he asked out. I silently vowed to help make that happen. Dating was a challenge at any age. Latte in hand, I scanned the crowded space and found the only vacant seats were at a large high-top table stretched along the side wall. Folks with headphones and laptops sat mostly at one end, tapping lightly on their keyboards. I sat at the other end and pulled out my phone. My flight to Kona in the morning was still on time, and I swallowed against the pit in my stomach. My younger sister was getting married. I was expected to be there. No exceptions. I usually limited my time with my family to 3 days max. That was long enough to smile, not rock the boat, and not stab one of my sisters in their sleep. 3 days. This wedding trip was a week. Thankfully, my best friend, Kristen, was coming along as a buffer. My excuse to head to the beach when the urge to cause bodily harm grew unbearable. Is this seat taken? A voice asked, deep and silky like chocolate, so rich you had to lick every bit of it from your spoon. Next came the scent of cardamom and leather. I sucked in a breath of manly deliciousness before turning to find Levi Abrams, exuding confidence and untouchable mystery, packaged in broad shoulders and a trim build, said he knew how to use his body, all 6 feet plus of it. He worked at the hospital, but not in patient care, and wasn't overly talkative beyond, "Excuse me," and "Hold the door." He made cargo pants look good, rode a bike to work spring through fall, and wore hiking boots like regular shoes. Throw in tousled dark hair, and it was no wonder Levi caught the eye of most women and some men, garnering a sort of great white whale persona among the nurses. Plus, he regularly had lunch with an unknown stunning woman. That was the challenge factor. Irresistible to top competitors in the game of love, or at least the game of sex, like Kimberly. Not me. "I'm sorry?" I replied, nearly getting lost in the way the green of his fleece pullover highlighted the blue-gray color of his eyes. He smiled, and the shine landed smack in my belly along with the dimple on his left cheek, winking through dark scruff and threatening to make my panties ignite. He leaned in slightly, blocking my view of anything but him. "I asked if anyone was sitting here. All the other seats are taken." "Oh, right. Please." I scrambled to pull myself together and shift my backpack out of the empty space at the head of the table. "Thank you," he said, gliding into this stool like it was made for him. "Unless you're saving it for Pete's break." "What?" I frowned. "Don't knock." "Hey, respect," Levi said, raising a hand. "Asking an older woman out, especially one who's pretty and sophisticated, takes guts. I'm impressed. If you find yourself at the plate, man, why not swing for the fences?" He sipped his coffee with that shine still beaming. I furrowed my brow, replaying his words. Yes, I was older than Pete. Pretty wasn't a word I'd heard often, though it had been said, but sophisticated? No one had ever called me, Kate Wells, sophisticated, certainly not compared to my beautiful and effortlessly sophisticated sisters. The urge to hide my unpainted fingernails with their rough and ragged cuticles prodded at me. Medical-grade hand sanitizer wasn't easy on the skin, particularly when I used it 10 times a day. "I'm hardly sophisticated," I said, digging in my hand for my favorite coconut-scented lotion. It was like a mini tropical vacation. "I disagree. You could have laughed like it was a joke, tried to let him down easy that way, or you could have told him he was dreaming, hacked him down that way." He shuddered. "Instead, you took him seriously, didn't placate him with cliches about the right girl and someday. Your rejection was honest but kind. That's sophistication." Suddenly nervous about receiving what might have been the best compliment ever, I vigorously smoothed the lotion over my hands. "Thank you." "You're welcome." His smile lingered before he pulled out his phone, and I exhaled breath, happy to let the awkward feelings die along the conversation. Me with the great white whale. What a joke. "Vanilla cold foam latte. Can't say I've had that one before," he said. "Oh, it's a special order." I held the drink in question. We could talk about this. "The cold foam isn't too sweet, and it cools the hot drink to the perfect temperature." "Good to know. Dark roast drip. Black," he said, lifting his cup. "I'm a simple guy." I flashed a grin, a little confused. Levi Abrams was telling me about his regular coffee order. Why? Yes, I was smart and competent. People trusted me with their lives, and if Levi was having heart palpitations, I'd spring into confident action. But this casual talking thing with Levi effing Abrams was outside my wheelhouse. Both of our phones dinged with text, startling us and breaking our eye contact. We each glanced at our screens with chagrined smiles. Kristen. K-girl. "Hey, got a minute?" Me. "Sure. Packing?" Me. "Throw some stuff in with your bathing suit. We'll be at the beach most of the time." K-girl. "That sounds great." Those three dots danced and paused and danced again. I noticed Levi focused on his screen, a deep crease in his brow. K-girl. "Here's the thing. I can't go." Me. "To the beach? Okay, I don't care what we do as long as it's not with my sisters." K-girl. "I can't go to Hawaii. I met someone." My fingers froze above the screen. She wasn't coming. My stomach lurched with a sudden sinking feeling I had to swallow. Wait, she met someone? Me. "Have you been taken against your will? Answer my next question wrong if you need me to call 911. What was the name of my childhood pet?" K-girl. "Patches, your cat." Right answer. K-girl. I know I never do things like this. It's reckless." K-girl. "But I'm almost 30 and what I'm doing isn't working. I'm going to be reckless for a change." Okay. Me. Who is this person? Okay, girl. His name is Chris. We met yesterday, and he's amazing. Okay, girl. He asked me to go camping with him this week in Yellowstone. Yellowstone! It's fate. Kristen wasn't a big camper, but she didn't need to stay at the Four Seasons either. She wanted to go to Yellowstone National Park since about birth, but hadn't made it yet. It's popular and nearly impossible to get into in the summer months. Me. Wow. Didn't know what else to say. I was happy for her, a little stunned, and a lot disappointed. It was a lot to process. Okay, girl. You're worried about the trip, but you'll be fine. Hey, girl, tell those bitchy sisters of yours to fuck off. You look amazing. You worked hard on that body and you're rocking it. I huffed a smile and smoothed my hand over my belly. My hips still flared and my ass remained substantial, but my arms had more definition and I'd felt stronger the last time I helped lift a gurney onto a medevac chopper. It wasn't a regular occurrence, but as a traveling nurse for the small islands off the coast of Washington State, it happened. Hey, girl, meet some bronze stud and have a fling. Bring him to the wedding and make everyone jealous. Winky face emoji. Me. A bronze stud? I glanced over to see Levi texting, vigorously tapping away. Hey, girl. Yes, why not? Maybe this reckless thing is what we've both been missing. It'll be great. It would not. The wedding and my family for an entire week on my own weren't survivable. I barely made it through 72 hours at Christmas, and that was with a bunch of cookies and alcohol. Hey, girl, when if that guy asks you to do something reckless, say yes. I frowned. Me. Send me a photo of this guy's license right now. If I don't hear from you in a week, I'm calling the police. Okay, girl. I will, but don't worry. I've got a good feeling. Wasn't that what people said about serial killers? Me. Chris. Hey, girl. He could be the one, and I never say that. Hey, girl. I'll text next week. I promise. Great. She found the one, and now I was on my own. I sighed, resignation taking over as usual. I could diagnose a patient, perform CPR, or stitch a gaping wound all on my own because I had to. This was no different. Nothing to do but face it, get through it. Chris.